Yo, what's up, guys? My name's Kevin Davis. Welcome back to a new episode of Kevirsyle Network. And today's guest is my good friend Jay Mooers, right? Is that
Yep,
correct?
yep.
Jay Mooers. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thanks,
How's your
Kevin.
day going?
Oh, it's been a busy day, but here I am. I made it.
I
It's
feel
still
that. I
cold.
feel
That's
that.
how quick I barely made it.
Really? Man, it's still hot out here. Where are you based?
Massachusetts.
Yeah, y'all stay with the cold weather, don't it?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it was a little windy, about 60 degrees today. So I
ah,
like it. I like the fall weather, but
yeah, I'm more of a winter weather person. Mostly because I'm always hot. I don't really get cold.
yeah.
I'm really called the werewolf of my family because I'm the one that's always hot. Everyone else be cold, so it happens. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you got going on?
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Well, hi everybody. I'm
so a
Jay
little
Mooers.
bit of your backstory.
Yeah, I've been in the artist world for children's books and comics for about 20 years. I've worked for DC. I've done a lot of work for Dynamite, and a lot of indie people. I have my own indie comics, self-published novels and stuff as well. But yeah, I've worked on franchises like Fallout, Transformers.
Oh, big Transformers fan.
Oh,
Big,
okay. Yeah.
huge Transformers fan. Oh my
I
god.
learned when I was working on that, I'm not a fan of drawing robots.
Why
I
not?
did it, but
They're
I
so
realized
cool.
afterwards I'm more like fantasy driven, I think, as far as my
Ah,
art styles go and stuff. But I've done a lot of
that makes sense.
Vampirella, Red Sonja. I did some work on Crisis Core, and
Dude, wow.
so I've been around the gambit a bit. So a couple of years back, I created a universe basically for my comic series called Autumn Gray, and a couple of maybe 6 years ago, I started getting the itch to play role play games again, something I hadn't done in decades. And I also had about 1 billion different story ideas for this universe I created that I wanted to tell. And I realized in comic format, especially when you're the writer and the artist, pardon me, I have a bunch of dogs that just woke up because I just got home around me. So you'll hear some barking. I'll probably have one or two on my lap at some point during this. But
Gotcha. That's
basically,
cool.
I was itching to role play, and I had this world and all these stories I wanted to tell. So I was like, well, how cool would it be to role play in this world? So I created a tabletop role play game called Fae, where you play fairies and monsters hiding in the modern day human world. And that's off.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was about 4 years ago. The Kickstarter did phenomenal. Got international recognition. I was making adventures for it.
Yeah. What's
Hey,
up,
yo.
pops?
Hey, pops, or Dante, depending on which version of pops.
Which one?
I was dealing with Dante
Which alter
earlier
ego
today.
he is today? Yeah.
So I created the RPG, and it's going great. Every year I'm creating new adventures for it. I'm working on the second expansion for it. The first expansion came out 2 years ago, and
Wow.
it's growing. It's doing great, and because I'm now in the gaming world, which I love so much more. I love people getting themselves into the world instead of just reading about it. Like
Yeah.
the next step for me is like people are creating their own stories and they're living in this world that I've created, you know?
Yeah.
So the next thing that happened was I started becoming addicted to miniature games. Like
Oh.
I haven't played Warhammer 40K, but I played some Age of Sigmar. I've played lots of other like miniature skirmish games and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I love the minis. I love painting them. But I feel like a lot of them were missing story. There was a lot of like a lot of miniature games. It's a competitive game. You play against each other,
Mhm.
and you're just playing to score points, and that's kind of the end of it. And I was like, oh, like I like some, and I know it's not all games. There are some that work on narratives while you're playing and stuff like that. But I wanted
Wow.
to take,
So,
so I took my world that I created, and like, what
mm,
point in the lore would make sense to have a like warring monsters? And I realized the
gotcha.
perfect opportunity in my lore. The Fae and monsters left the human world at the end of the Dark Ages, the beginning of the
Mm,
Renaissance. Basically, when pagan religions were snuffed out and stuff like that,
mm,
is when they left. So I figured that's the perfect time in Fae history when they all come back to the Fae world of Avalon to have like land disputes and like the struggles between all the Fae coming back and the Fae that were there for
sorry,
territory,
sorry.
power.
I missed the last part. My Wi-Fi went out for a second. I missed the
Oh,
last
I'm
part you said.
sorry. So I figured during the end of the Renaissance, sorry, the beginning of the Renaissance, that era
Okay.
was the perfect opportunity for when Fae are leaving the mortal realm and flooding back into
Okay.
Avalon. That is when there was huge strife, power struggles, different
Mm,
factions trying to take over and be the new ruling classes in the Fey world. So I basically figured that was the ideal time to have a miniature game. So I
mm,
created Fey Courts, which is currently on Kickstarter. It's a miniature skirmish game. If you ever play Fey, a lot of the rolling of the dice and stuff is very similar to that. So it's very
mm,
familiar to people who play that. But it's designed, and one thing I actually found, a lot of miniature games are extremely complicated.
mm.
Do you play role play games or
I
miniature games?
have
Like that?
I haven't played in a while, but I have played miniature games a lot.
Okay, so you're
But it's
aware
been
how
yeah, I am.
complicated they are to get started.
Yes. Oh my God.
So
Yes, I am.
so
Yeah.
one thing I wanted with this game is I wanted to be super easy to start. It's basically designed, and there's the link. Thank you, Pops, for putting the link up on the screen.
And we're
Um,
gonna and we're gonna bring up your link in a minute as you continue talking about it because I looked at the Kickstarter. It looks freaking phenomenal. I saw the trailer and I was like, dude, this game is finna kick the tail.
I'm really.
So yeah.
It's happening anyway. Like even if I have to push a little bit of money in there to make it hit the finish line,
Yeah.
it is happening. I have enough diehard fans that have played it and are really beating the
Yeah. What's
drums
up,
for
John?
it. Hey, John. So the game is designed that you can sit down and teach someone how to play in minutes.
Mm,
Like if I have the game and I'm familiar with the rules and you came over, we could sit down for like board game night and be like, all right, this is how it works. Like show you a character sheet, like boom, 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 boom. Here's a tape measure, here's some dice, and uh and
heck
we'd
yeah.
simply be able to just start playing. But the sweet spot about it is every time you play, you learn things about how it works, and you start unlocking new strategies. And it depends on how you play. Um, Basically, how you play is how you discover new things about the game that you can
Uh,
start using in the game. So your skill increases as you play, and you unlock your own path into new strategies based
it's
on
almost
how
like
you play the game.
man, it's almost like you put like your own cheat code in the game to get
But
through it since
it's
you're
built in. It's so
huh.
like there are basics. Like you can basically walk, run, attack, shoot, and use some basic magics. But then it starts getting far more finessey when you start like looking at the powers you can use and how you can create elemental
Yeah.
effects on the board. So one thing this game is different than other games with is that you can change the terrain with your characters. So like if you have fire
Hmm.
based characters, you can create
Let me go
fire
and pull
effects
this
and
up real
smoke
quick.
effects throughout the board.
There you go.
There we go. There it is.
Man, dude, this looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, wow.
So basically, this is where I am currently. Like I'm constantly developing new things, and so this started out as a comic series called Autumn Gray, then turned into a role play game called Fae, and now we are introducing the miniature skirmish version called Fae Courts. Um,
Wow. So it's kind of like a multiverse in a way, kind of sort of.
well, it's all the it's not a multiverse. It's all happening in the same universe, just a different time
Okay.
period. So
Okay,
Fae
different. Oh,
Courts
it's a period piece. Okay.
Yes, yes. So Fey Courts takes place the end of the Dark Ages, beginning of the Renaissance. So what is that? The I don't remember what years those are, but in that bracket of time is when this
Wow.
game takes place.
Wow. And you got action figure with it too. This is
Yep,
amazing.
yep. Actually, Of course, I grabbed some and brought them over here so I can hold some up so you can see how little they are. Let's see here. So uh,
Wow. Do
this is
you make
miniature.
these yourself, or do you have a partnership with somebody?
I have a 3D modeler. He's
Oh, okay.
I met him out of the UK. The one thing I don't do, I write, I illustrate, I design games. I don't do 3D modeling. So I
Ah,
found a guy that loves Faye and loved the concept of this, and he just kind of I'd send him illustrations, and he designed 3D models for me.
so like this is your art right here. Like with this a map, right?
Yep, that's a map of the Fae world of Avalon.
Wow. And this is your art.
And in the art at the very beginning of the Kickstarter is also my art. The header there, the up the top of the.
Right here.
Yep, that's all my art right there. Yep.
Wow. Man, like you came from comics to games, or was it like, or did you
Yes.
come
Yep.
into it at the same
So
time?
I
Like, did you
started.
start?
I started with children's books, and then
Okay.
went into comics, and novel covers and stuff like that, and this is where I am now.
Wow. Man, and you worked with DC, Universal Studios, Warner Brothers, Dynamite, man. Ho- Man, what was your role with these companies? Because this is
Most
freaking amazing.
mostly anniversary art for like it started with, actually, oddly enough, the first commercial work I was doing was for Kiss. It
I
was it
love
was
Kiss. Okay.
and I know one of them just passed away. But
Yeah,
I,
I
I,
just heard
I
about
my
that.
first gig was working for Dynamite, doing work for Kiss's. It was one of their milestone anniversaries of the band, and so I was doing artwork
Wow.
for that. So if you're familiar with miniature games, this shows you an example of some terrain with the miniatures going around, and the tokens are elemental effects that are on the board. So that
Wow.
brown chain, basically, when you cast an elemental effect, the length of
Uh,
the chain you put around it is determined by how successful you roll. But you can actually
oh,
just create elements on the board. So that particular spot is mud. So that troll that cast it, that's standing in it. Um,
this mud. Wow.
so if you step into the mud, it affects your movement and your ability to hit
Ah,
somebody with melee attacks. Basically, it's hard to move around. But if you're
yeah.
if you're a
Ace. Rest in
yeah,
peace,
Ace, it
Ace.
was Ace.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man. Man. So like the mud is kind of like a quicksand, where it's like it slows you down in the game, right?
yeah.
It's
So
a
like you could cast, like, see the between those bushes at the top of the
yeah.
image there. Like if that was where the other team had to get through, you could cast it there and slow them down, and then step back out of it and start shooting them while they're trying to get through it. There's all kinds of like strategies, but they're all very easy to understand, but then complex to really kind of build off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I understand completely. I'm good. What was like your inspiration when you started doing this universe, like from like movies or any other games or like comics that inspired you so much that you want to do this type of universe, especially
Um,
into a game world?
some of my big influences, Don Bluth movies like Secret and Nim, things where there's like secret societies hiding in the human world. Um,
Heck yeah.
that was a big one for me. I love things like Labyrinth. You can definitely tell by the style of my characters, a lot of Brian Froud and Jim Henson inspiration. Things like Labyrinth
Ah,
and Dark Crystal. Um, I've always been a huge fan of dark comedy. I love things like Gremlins. Um,
yes. 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 I love Gremlins.
that's my favorite world, like where you can laugh and scream at the same time,
Oh
and
yeah.
and
Especially when they get like that gut wrenching laugh out of you that
yep,
makes you
right
cry
after you
laughing.
screamed,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
and that's what like the Fey RPG is all about. It can quickly go from you're playing a horror movie where you're the monster to the most wacky thing, like depending on how the dice roll and what you decide to do, like it can get ridiculous so fast, and that's part
Oh
of the fun.
yeah.
And I wanted the miniature game to do the same thing. So like
Man.
here, there's basically the floor's on fire on one side. If you
Okay.
walk through it, you take damage, and in front of her, the purple area, that's a psychotropic effect, which if you step
Oh.
into it, you are
Uh,
tripping. you roll on a chart to see what your character can and can't do. Basically, once you step into it,
Uh,
it's kind of a wild card mental cloud of insanity.
so like this game is in production while you're raising on Kickstarter, right?
Yes. Yep. It
And
is
I'm
live right now on
uh,
Kickstarter, and I'm inching towards that funded goal. The goal up at the top of the screen. The goal is 9,000, and we're
you're
in the
so
seven. We're in the
close.
sevens right now. So
Yeah, let me go back up.
yep.
7,284.
Yep.
I mean,
Of the
you're so
9,000 goal.
close. Oh my God, yeah, you guys need to go back this project. This looks beautiful. It looks freaking
I try to make
amazing.
everything accessible. I mean, it's the cheap. You know how expensive it is to get into miniature games. I'm
Yes,
sure
I do.
if you played them.
I do.
It's
Yeah.
this game you can, and obviously I'd like people to buy more than that. But the rule book, if you just want the rule book, which is all you really need, because you can use any minis you want. The rule book,
Oh, okay.
you could use your Monopoly pieces. You could be the army of thimbles if you wanted to. But if you scroll down just a little further to the rewards,
Right
so you
here.
can buy the rule book, digital rule book, $15. That's all you need to play the game. Cheaper than
Huh.
buying a board game.
Agreed.
And then the next one up is the digital rulebook and digital files for the minis, so you can print them on your own. And then if you want to buy the box that has all the cards, the rulebook, the chains, the tokens, it's 40. And then if you want it with the
Oh,
minis,
sorry.
it's 120 if you want all the minis. So it's
Wow.
16 minis that come with it.
Huh.
And it
And
just
so
grows
does
from there. And if
so
you want more stuff.
so when you because I believe you're going to get this funded, and so when you get this funded and like start shipping out stuff, like does the is it do you ship out like 3D printed action figures with the
Yep.
rewards?
So if
Getting
you order
rewards
just
to
the
buy?
digital, if you order just the digital version, you get the
Right.
files and you can print them on your own 3D printer or get your friend to print them. But if you want
Okay.
the physical models, um, so if you buy any of these boxes, you get the physical models. So when you
Okay.
get your nice Fey Quartz box, it'll have the rule book in it. It'll have
Mm.
cards, dice, the chains, and the tokens that you saw on the board. And then it will also have boxes of the two groups of minis that come with the start of the game.
Gotcha. Okay. Because when I first saw your Kickstarter, I thought it was like a board game type of thing that you were doing. That's what I wanted to ask you about. Like, is it
Yeah.
also like a
So
board game version to this?
it's a miniature game, but
Uh,
it's designed to be easy enough that board game people can play it. That the whole
oh
thing
yeah,
is I didn't
that
want it
makes
to
sense.
be
Okay.
exclusive to miniature game people. I want this game to
Okay.
be accessible to everybody because I feel like miniature games. I love miniature games, but
Yeah.
they are. You think D&D is a big commitment to learn all the rules? These are
Oh.
so much more than that. And
Okay.
I wanted this one to be accessible. I want you to be able to sit down with a 5-year-old and play this game. And as you both learn as you're playing against each other, it gets more complicated based on how much you learn as you play. So the game can be very complex, but
Huh.
it doesn't have to be. So
All right.
your diehard miniature game people have a lot to sink their teeth into and strategies to
Mm,
build off of, because you can use the preset character stats or you can
mm,
build your own. So you can every character can be completely customized to what you want for your strategy. So
hmm.
that's where the complexity and everything starts to really build.
Man, I mean, as a game person myself, I've always been interested to like how is the process when you're creating these type of games, especially miniature? Like, what's the beginning? Like, I'm like, I know like some games people like write a script or something to make a video game, but like how is your process from beginning to when you started doing this particular miniature game? Like how did you start doing that?
So a friend of mine, Manny Almeida, who's listed in the credits, he's kind of the co-designer with me.
Okay.
Um, he has a lot of experience in miniature games, and he was one of my original play testers for my Fey RPG. So he and I sat down and we kind of hashed out. Yeah, and these are right here are showing images of the two groups that you buy when you buy the basic game.
The
So you have your
Sealy
Sealy Court,
Court.
which are your fairies, elves,
The unsealy court.
nymphs, and the Unseelie Court, which are
Yeah.
your other creatures. And now I just unlocked. There's a third group you can buy called the Heralds of Dawn. But
Wow.
so he helped me convert my Fey RPG into a miniature game. We basically, and then we started just playing it and experimenting with it and adjusting the rules until it felt smooth, comfortable. Turns are quick. There's never any downtime. The fun thing, um, which I know there are games where you move all your pieces and then someone else moves
Mhm.
all their pieces. This is a
Yeah.
one back and forth kind of a game. So you pick one of your characters to move, and they pick one of their characters to move. So you're constantly engaged in the game. You don't
So
have
this
like
game's
that.
going for hours or even days, right?
You could. So a typical session is about an hour. Once you're familiar with the game, you can play a game in an hour. I am writing narrative modules where it's a series of adventures that
Mhm.
you play against each other to tell the story, and like that'd be like 4 adventures to it. So you could play it in an afternoon, or you could play one and then come back another time and play the next one, that kind of stuff. But it's all about making it very accessible to everybody, but not pushing away the miniature people that love the complicated games. It's about the balance.
Yeah. And I gotta be honest, this kind of give me like the a Lord of the Rings and like Final Fantasy vibes to it when I look at it.
I love Final
Uh,
Fantasy as well. Yeah,
can you give like a breakdown of like what are the silly core and the unsilly core and how
Heralds
you
of Dawn.
pronounce Heralds of Dawn? Yeah, can you give like a breakdown of what
Sure.
these groups are, like who
So
they are, what they
in the
represent?
lore of Avalon, there's a King Oberon, who is your cliche drunk party loving fae, like king of the fairies. He is everything you think of with mischievous fairies, and he is the cliche. There are a lot of other factions. There's a lot of lore. I'm using bits and pieces of it in the rule book, but then I'm going to unlock
Okay.
different factions in the future under their own lore and stuff. But he is your quintessential king of the fairies, exactly what you'd picture. You know,
Mhm.
like definitely a prankster. And he
Oh yeah.
and both the Sealy court and the unsealy court are under his rule. The Sealy
Oh.
court are the Fae that are helpful, or at least appear helpful. They are
Mhm.
typically they're still tricksters, but they're if you ran into them in the woods, they might help you find your way out. You know, or might help you get really, really, really lost if they don't like you. Think like a
Okay.
five year
Of
old, like
course.
a nice 5-year-old, but they still get ticked off and cause trouble.
Yep.
That's the Sealy court. The unsealy court
Makes sense.
are the ones that want to be nasty, want to be bad, like
Ah.
they're going to eat your babies. Those
Oh my God.
those kind of monsters. But they are both part of King Oberon's court, so they are essentially they are two. I guess you could say the two teams playing the same sport. They're two
Mhm.
uh, they're two wings in the political party. Like what they rival each other, they fight each other, but they're
Uh.
not really enemies. So I figured a good intro
So it's kind of
group
like
to
they're
have.
playmates in a way.
Yeah, and
That
them
makes sense.
fighting each other amuses the king.
Oh
Like
God.
like like he and his you picture him sitting there eating bonbons with his buddies, betting on who's gonna like it's that kind of a thing for them. Like these are their teams,
Okay.
and they have
Okay.
fun. They have fun with them. So I figured they were
Okay.
the two ideal courts to introduce as your starter groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So Dawn is in the game Fae, which takes place modern day, is one of the main leaders. Um,
Ah.
Dawn took advantage of human technology, is what happened. But this is back
Oh.
at the end of the Dark Ages, beginning of the Renaissance. Um, Dawn, at that point, there's an overthrow of another leader. The one that was really in charge right before the end of the Dark Ages got
Mhm.
overthrown by everybody. Dawn is one of the
Oh.
ones that planned this overthrow. Dawn was a member of King Oberon's court, but she wants to move forward. King Oberon just wants to party. He has no ambition. He's just enjoying
He's a
enjoying
party
life.
animal.
Like he will stay like this forever. Dawn had ambition. She sees human technology, human innovations. Like we gotta steal this. We gotta learn how to use this. We that's gonna be how we win. That's how we're gonna be in charge. And so Dawn, the Heralds of Dawn are essentially when she first separated from King Oberon, and she took Fae that wanted more with her,
Mm.
and that's who they are. So they're a lot more warriors using weaponry. They're a little more of an innovators. And then on
Gotcha.
so those are the three that are available initially. They were actually unlocked. They were a unlockable during the Kickstarter. The
Beautiful.
Heralds of
And
Dawn.
you have a trailer we can play right here.
So that there is a full demo of the game. It's actually an hour-long video if you want to watch a
Oh,
full
wow.
game. The trailer's up at the top of the
Okay.
thing, but that there is if you want to watch how the game actually works, you can watch a full game getting played, so you can see how the pieces move and how the dice roll and everything like that. But yeah, this here is the
Wow.
trailer.
Let's check out this trailer, guys. Of see if it plays. Can you hear?
I can hear it.
Okay. Fake Courts.
Yep.
Man, visually that looks absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Uh, I, um, I think it would have been awesome if you had a voiceover to like explain what's going on, because some people, if especially somebody can't see this video. I learned that advice from Pops when I make trailers. So I'm like, it would be awesome if you had a voiceover so people could actually hear it too, if they can't see the
I could
video.
probably add one. I could probably add
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, oh boy.
Neighbors. We got neighbors, guys. We got neighbors. Yep.
Oh, someone wants attention.
That's right. They're walking away. They're
Hold on.
scared of you.
Oh no. And and this is an hour. I'm gonna check out this demo because I am very curious. Like, I would like to learn like how
Yeah,
you
some
got
people
into
like to
this.
see how the game actually functions, and you can actually watch a whole session. So you can watch me lose. Yep. Oh, spoiler. Sorry.
Oh no! Hey, meet the crew. Well, we just met Jay Mooers.
Yep.
And can you tell us shout out your crew right quick and tell
Yep.
us
So
their parts?
Manny, I already talked about. He's the guy who helped design the game. He's the person with the miniature game experience. He's also been a trooper. He's been helping me a lot with running demos of it everywhere.
Mhm.
And then Sam Elliott is our 3D designer over in the UK who designs the models.
Wow. Over in the UK, guys, man.
Yep.
Like, and when you like, well, how do you see this game like 5 years from now? And like, what's like your plan going forward with the fake hordes and
So
like comics and like any type of game that's your
yeah.
project you're doing?
So three things. One is I've had very patient. The comic series is called Autumn Gray. I have very patient Autumn
Okay.
Gray fans who have been waiting a long time for the next issue because I kind of got wrapped up in the gaming world. So that after I get this funded and out there, my next goal is to get the next issue of Autumn Gray out for people.
And
While
what issue number is this one?
this will be issue 9.
Issue 9. Oh my
Yeah.
God. How long you been on this series? You up to 9 already? Wow.
I started Autumn Gray, I think in 2012.
Hmm.
And it's been like I'll do like 3 1 year, and then I'm doing a lot of other projects for a year or two, and then I get back to it. But because of the Fae RPG, the comic has grown a lot because it's all the same
Because
world.
it's
People
okay.
want the different pieces of it,
Heck yeah. So we can
So
read the comic and understand what fake court is, right?
Yes. So the fun
Okay.
thing is none of these things spoil the other ones, but there are things in them that like you're like, oh, that's this thing, like you know what that is in the other thing, you know.
Okay.
So like in the RPG Fae,
Mhm.
they talk about Autumn Gray. They basically say that thing that happened in New Hampshire, and
Huh.
that's where they leave it. So if you read Autumn Gray, you know it takes place in New Hampshire, and so like it doesn't spoil it because like I haven't finished the comic story yet,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it
Okay. Okay.
mentions like this happened because of the thing that happened in New Hampshire. So you don't know what the thing that happened in New Hampshire is, but if you read Autumn Gray, you know they're referencing the events that are
Ah,
happening in that story.
that makes sense. So with the comic, as new fans coming in, do we have to go back to the very first comic to read, or is
Everything
each
is
one standalone?
standalone. Everything is
Standalone.
standalone. Everything
Okay.
complements each other.
Mhm.
So any one item like enhances what you know of the other. So one of the big projects I have coming up for this is I'm gonna have some of the lore in the rule book. I have some of the lore in the Fey RPG, but I've been writing lots of lore. I'm like fleshing out the whole time span for all kinds of different things, like what happened to the Egyptian creatures, what happened to the Greeks, what happened to the and
Oh.
what's going on with the African mythologies, and like they're all part of this, and it's all like so. My next thing, the next big book that's going to come out is going to be called Fey Lore, and it's gonna cover lore for both Fey and for Fey courts. So it's going
Hmm.
to be a book that can be used for either or. And
Mhm.
and meanwhile, my 3D designer is going to be working on new factions. And when I release the faction, I'm going to release a book that goes with it that will be lore for that faction, and it will also have a narrative adventure to play in Fey Courts with that faction to learn about that faction while you play them.
Like, and so this series is like it's for all ages, or is there a certain
Yes.
age group? Okay, so it's all ages.
Same thing
Okay.
with Fae. I've had basically my general rule, and people ask me if their kids can play Fae,
Mhm.
is if they're old enough to read, they can play Fae.
I
You got
love
to
I
be able to
love
read
that.
the stuff on the character sheet. That's basically it. I've I
I
have
love
I
it.
have played this game with a group of 7-year-olds to see how it works, and it worked great. They loved it. They
Mhm.
still play it. I still get messages like, "When are you gonna come back and run a game?" I'm like, "I don't have time. I'm sorry." Um,
That is
but
beautiful.
it's they So they have a campaign. They have a couple of school campaigns going on. There's a school that updates me. They play as a
Hmm.
group of Fae who basically live at the school, and they come out after school ends for the day. So they play it after school in the library, and they're basically telling stories about
Wow.
these creatures that hide in their own school, which is awesome.
That is
It's like
that
how
is so
how
freaking
cool is
cool.
that? And then there's
Wow.
another group of kids that came up with they extort the tooth fairy. They go get the teeth before the tooth fairy gets there, and then they'll sell. The like, tooth fairy has to do favors for them to get the teeth from them, kind of thing. Like who comes up with that
Man,
stuff? Kids, it's
man,
great.
you have such a fan base that you have schools updating you. How does that make you feel, as especially as a creator that's been doing this for
It's
a
it's it's
while now?
it's the ultimate high.
Like,
There were two big highs I had last year. One was that, and the other thing was I ran into a person who was cosplaying as one of my characters. I didn't know them. They didn't know me. They had the game. They played it. So I run into people more and more often that are like I'm like, have you heard of Faye? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, we play this. I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. But running into somebody who spent like a month
did you
making
tell
the
them that
outfit.
you're the maker of that world?
Yes, I gave her everything at my table she didn't have. I was like, oh my god. I was like, what don't you have? She's like, well, I have the rule book and I have that. I'm like, okay. I took everything that she didn't have. I put it in a big bag and I gave it to her. I'm like, you're awesome.
So you do like comic cons at conventions and
Yeah.
like having a
Yeah.
blast meeting your fans. Like, how often do you get noticed when they figure out that you're the creator of this beautiful world? And how do
Um,
you react? And like, how do you handle that attention?
So my obviously, if people know just my game, they don't know
Mhm.
what I look like. They don't. But if they see
Okay.
the game, like, oh yeah, this game, I'm like, well, I'm the creator, and they're like, what? Oh my god, which is very cool. It's it, but a lot of conventions, I don't know if you do comic cons and stuff like that,
Not yet. Not
but
yet.
it is a community unto itself, and everybody kind of gets to know everybody after a little while. Like
Heck
so,
yeah.
as far as like you recognize people pretty quickly, especially if you're staying in
Mm,
the area. Like I live in New England, so I do a lot of shows in
mm.
Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, New York. Basically,
Wow.
most of my shows are in that area. I venture out sometimes for other shows, but
Ah.
most of the shows are there, and it's a lot of familiar faces when you go to different shows.
When you're looking back over your career, did you ever dream that you will have such a fan base that are continue playing your game and getting your books and everything when you first
No,
started and looking at you where you're at now?
it's awesome. In the as an artist, like when I started and I'm doing children's books and stuff, it's very lonely. Like you are alone in your studio, you do something, you send it out, and that's it. Like you don't talk to people. And now I'm the opposite. Now I'm like tables of people. We're playing the game. It's I have to come back here. It's a good balance now because like there's
Mm,
a huge social aspect of playing tabletop role play games and miniature games, and that's what it's really about. It's about getting together, playing something together, having fun. That ultimately having fun is the most important part of the whole thing, and using your imagination, which I feel like like there are a lot of people that when they realize they can, it like unlocks
mm,
something in them, and I love that. I love that moment. I've
mm.
had I've had game tables, not with the miniature game, but with the tabletop game, where I've had people that have never played tabletop games that are sitting there at the table, and once they realize what they can do,
Mm.
it like you can see that like it blows their mind. It's like I just gave you a video game with infinite buttons. Like you push any button you want. You know what I mean?
Oh heck yeah,
And
dude!
and
Oh
and,
my
and
god.
in that moment, and like sometimes they get so into the character because like they've been unleashed, and it's it's the moment I live for. I love it when people love being in this world. A lot of my background, I was in theater a lot and stuff like that, and I love people
Hmm.
getting lost in that world. So
Yeah.
it's all part of the same bubble. I I I,
Mm.
I think there's enough depressing and stressful stuff out in the world that
Oof,
like having
yes.
having something fun to escape to, and what's better than being a
Yes.
monster? Like if you're frustrated at the world, like
Yes. Oh
how
my
would
god,
it,
yes.
how could it be any better than being the thing? Like if you're a construction worker and you're so pissed off at work, go home, play Faye, take your
Uh,
monster to a construction site and eat all the construction workers. I don't like you. It's the best therapy out there.
Man, yeah, that's literally how I started writing my own comics and writing my own stories actually, because writing is my therapy
Yep.
and dealing with like anger issues and like stress, and
Hmm.
I just write out, and especially I actually didn't grow up on reading comics. I didn't start reading comics until 2020.
I didn't start reading comics till after I published my first comic.
Really?
Hmm.
Wow. And like I'm a huge Hellboy fan. I'm a huge
Yes, Hellboy's great. Um,
um what's the Hellboy, X-Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, those comics.
yep. Do you?
Uh, bl-
Uh,
uh, there's some more. I keep forgetting their names off the top of my head. Um, like I read some Captain America, Black Panther. I read some, of course, Spider Man,
yep.
and because I knew about Marvel and DC, but I knew their movies and TV shows. I didn't know there was a different medium.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's
Uh,
all kinds of stuff. There's novels too. There's
yeah,
there's
and
everything
then
you could ever want.
oh yeah, and then I found out about indie comics, and I fell in love with indie comics, and I got really inspired, and I started my own indie comics,
Yep.
and that's why my series Arcfire is my main series, and I basically based my character Arcfire off myself because the
As
character,
we often do as creators.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, the story is Theo Arcfire is he's a being from another planet,
Okay.
but he wakes up in a eggshell coma. Like he literally wakes up, bursts out actual egg like um, trap or something like. coma, like in a science lab, and he
Okay.
busts out with because he has no memory of who he is, so he's questioning who he is, trying to find the discovery of where he's from, how he get here.
Does he look mortal or
He looks mortal, but he
okay?
has he has elvish ears, so you know he's not mortal.
Okay. Yeah, but it's easy
But
to
he
hide.
look,
Yeah.
yeah, but
But
he
you, like you right now, you're hiding them with the headphones. Very, very clever.
exactly,
Very clever.
exactly. And so Theo's on this journey trying to figure out why he's here, and he has this cosmic power and gift that he's learning to control,
Hmm.
and he's on this journey of finding other supernatural beings like him because there is a potential threat coming down as the story progresses, and trying to
Gotta
figure
have
out
that.
who
Yeah.
can you trust, who can you trust, who can't you trust. I'm like that's why I'm like don't trust anyone in anything. You know what I mean? And I really love horror, so I'm bringing that horror element into it. So
Yep.
it's like it's my science fiction horror fantasy action series.
Very cool.
And I just brought out my issue 2 on Kickstarter, which was funded, and I'm currently working on orders for that already. And I'm gearing up for issue 3 and 4. And I say Cathedral is based on me because I grew up trying to figure out who the heck I am because I'm very nonchalant kid, a very nonchalant kid, and I didn't really care for anything until I started. To my mother and my sister started pushing me to figure out who I am,
Hmm.
and I thank God for my family because without them, I wouldn't even be talking to you right now, if I'm going to be honest. And I'll probably be a stupid idiot right now if my family did not hold me accountable. If I'm going to be
Well,
honest.
then great. I'm glad it worked out so great. So you have 2 issues out already, right?
I do. I do. I'm formatting the final pages for issue 2 so I can get those to print it and get them out to the backers. And I'm working on issue 3 and 4 scripts. And I have like about 15 issues in my head.
Yeah, that's
All
how it
right.
works, and that's why I decided to make an RPG because it's like now I can
Oh
just sit
yeah.
down at the table and tell you the next issue, you know, because you're
Oh
playing
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, and and writing is literally my therapy because I just escape from the world for a bit. Like you said, that's
It's a
already
big
enough.
part of it.
Too
Yeah,
much depression and too much depressing stuff going on in this world.
yeah.
So I'm like, I just get in my mind and just start writing to escape the world for a minute. And that's why I got into comics and into storytelling because I want to help other people like escape the world for a minute. And I want to get kids reading. I want
Yep.
to get adults
You're
reading.
sounds
Like
like exactly the same mission I'm on here.
heck yeah, I'm like, it's too much media. This all this media is really draining and hurting our brains a lot.
Yep.
And I just want to like, we need to get to back to reading more books, even if it's comics. You still are
Any
reading, even playing miniature games like this, just escaping the world. You still have to critical think in or your game anyway to figure out how to get to a certain um, level. I think you have levels, right, of your miniature game,
um,
right?
well,
Or
no, I guess it's levels of strategy. You just get
okay, strategy.
smarter
Okay,
at how to play it. Yeah,
yeah, still, yeah, you have this critical thing to figure out your strategy to get to the. Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense. I like that. I like that. So, can you give us like a tease, like new projects coming out after
Sure.
this, or is
Well,
it?
I already kind of mentioned the lore thing.
Mhm.
Um, so I am starting to design the next court
Hmm.
for this game. And I believe we're going to be going with the Egyptian court.
Hey, Matthew.
Hey, Matthew. So the fun thing about the Egyptian court is at this point, you know, the Egyptian religion is gone.
Okay.
And unlike humans who write things down, Fae don't. So when it was
Mm.
gone, they forgot about it. So the fun thing in this is there is a surviving ancestor of Sekti, one of
Mm.
the Greek one of the Egyptian gods, and they found before they got pulled out of the mortal realm, they basically found some of the mortal writings and have
Mm.
learned from it and created almost like a cult of the Egyptian cult. So it's not that it's the gods from Egyptian
Mm.
mythology. It
Okay.
is a cult based on it out of characters who are sort of related to what what the Egyptians were. So a lot of like the animal headed ones, like the ones with the jackal heads and stuff like that, are part of this
All
this
right.
cult. But they are seeing like, well, now that we're leaving the human world, it's an opportune time to teach the rest of the Fae. So Fae typically don't die.
Okay.
They get sent to like a purgatory and then re-released. That's kind of how it
Hmm.
works in the
So
Fae
it's like
world.
they go to jail basically. And
Yeah, you
getting,
go to
okay.
go to jail for being stupid and getting caught, and your time there depends on how terrible you were.
Sounds about
And,
right.
and
Okay.
and the
Got it.
ultimate Fae punishment is boredom, and you are literally in nothing, which is the worst thing to be
Oh,
in.
that's so bad. Oh God.
But the Egyptian court believes that they have denied themselves death because Egyptians always believed in the afterlife is the most important part of your existence. So
Mm,
they are hell bent on Fae dying
mm.
and learning the importance of mortality. So it's an interesting faction obsessed with teaching others about death.
Hmm. That's interesting.
To
Okay.
pass on their knowledge, pass on
Oh my
their
God.
what they've learned.
Oh man. And I'm really curious with your comics and with this miniature game. Do you plan like getting to like animation at some point, maybe potentially?
hmm
Oh.
So the next thing, one thing that was happening until COVID happened,
Mm.
and then a health issue on the guy who was putting it together. I had
Oh
a film
man. I'm
company that
sorry.
was we were starting to write a script uh, for a Netflix or Amazon movie, like with an actual movie house. We were putting together the budget in the script to submit
Yo.
it for funding. They've released a bunch of other movies, but then we had COVID, writer's strike, and then he had a heart attack, almost died, and I think he's kind of stepped away from doing that work for a bit here.
Oh
But I'm hoping
man.
to possibly get back to that. Because I have this world, and
Yeah.
so they focus mostly on horror movies. So
Mm.
we were working on a script for a Fae horror movie, basically.
Hmm.
And again, it would stand alone. But if you're familiar with the game and the comic, you know more of what's happening in it than someone who's just watching the movie. Um,
Ah.
it's kind of that you get a reward for being a fan of multiple things,
Yeah.
but you don't
Awesome.
need the other things to enjoy it. That kind of thing.
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
man. And from your experience, and could you, if aspiring creators come to you like for advice, what would be the first thing you would tell them if they want to get into like comics or like creating games or like in whatever creative thing they
So
want to get into? Like,
the
what
hardest
advice
the
would
hardest
you?
part of it, which I'm sure you know as well, is doing it.
Yep.
Like I have shelves of projects that are never going to be done. Um, you love having ideas, you love writing them down, you love drawing the characters, but the scary part is when you hand it to someone else that isn't like someone that's going to sugarcoat it like a parent or something. You hand it to someone who's going to judge it, and it's like it's your heart, it's your soul, and you're handing it
Mm,
out to somebody to judge, and you're terrified that if they hate it, you've spent parts of your soul putting this out there. It's terrifying. Um, so I think you just got to do it. Like it took me a long time to be able to promote myself, and I still have a hard time with that.
mm,
I'm always suffering with self doubt. I'm always suffering with is this good enough? But I've it was a long process for me. I did a first couple conventions. I couldn't talk to people there. I just have
mm,
my stuff on the table, and I hi, and that be about it. Like I but you learn what people love about what you do, basically, and you
mm,
learn to embrace that, and then you grow from that. So I find a lot of times, especially with like a comic or something where you
mm,
have a single issue that you can put out there, find out what people love about it, because as much as you might have an idea for where it's going to go, you might get ideas from these people that you've now shared it with that might help it become something even better. You know what I mean? Like, don't
mm,
be so the combination of don't be afraid to get it out there, but also don't be afraid for other people to influence what you do with it, because it's if you're going to write something for yourself, like you're writing a comic for yourself, that's fine. That's for you. But if you're writing something that you want to share with people, then you're writing it partially for yourself and partially for everybody else. So you have to let everybody else in. So you have to be willing, like Autumn Gray. I had a character that was kind of like a side character. He didn't show up till issue 2. And people were like, I love this character. And he really wasn't a significant character. But I took that and I'm like, all right, like this character needs to be more important. And it happens all the time with TV shows. Stranger Things. I
love Stranger Things.
The older boy, the one he worked at the mall and stuff like that. Not one of the core young kids. The older brother character.
Yeah,
he was supposed to die in season 1.
I heard about that. I'm glad they didn't kill him
because people liked him so much. They scrambled to keep him alive, and now he's one of the main characters. It's that kind of thing. Like you're making this for people, so you need to, especially when it's like if you did like a huge graphic novel and it was like it's done here, and that's when you showed it, it'd be one thing. But because you're doing single issues, like definitely keep your finger on the pulse of what other people love about it, because that should shape partially at least where you go with it. Don't throw away your idea for it, but make it part of it, because you're writing this, the difference between writing for yourself and writing to sell a comic. You're writing for yourself and for other people. So you have to be willing to share with other people.
Oh yeah.
Give them, like, balance what you want with what they want in it. Otherwise, if you have no interest in what they want, then why are you trying to sell it to them?
Yeah, right.
Don't throw out your ideals and stuff, or don't sell out.
Of course.
Let it be part of the process.
Like be open-minded to the to the thoughts of people.
Like you said, you have 15 issues of your story in your head. That by the time you get to issue 13, the one that you have in your head right now and what you're actually going to write when you get to 13 are going to be, there's going to be no similarities between them at that point.
Because by then I'll have a community and like a fan base.
It's going to be a whole different beast at that point. But you understand that it grows with the people who read it and love it. And the same thing happened with my game. Like with when I originally wrote Faye, like I was thinking, whimsical fairies and stuff like that. And like people started playing it and they loved playing dark things. And I'm like, ooh, maybe we're going to make this dark. But then like the whimsy would still poke up through. And I'm like, it eventually settled in this in-between thing, which everybody really enjoys. Like I said, one moment you're being the most horrible, terrible, like creature, like a Del Toro movie. And then the next moment you're accidentally on fire because you just learned what gasoline does. It burns! And you're running through the fields.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
All right, we're coming up to the time. Can you give us like where we can find you for like updates, like follow your progress on any projects you got, Instagram, Facebook, anything where we can follow you at?
Yep. So thankfully, because my last name is spelled Moers, you can easily find me as Jay Mooers on both Facebook and Instagram. I am always like eager to chit chat with people and give people information on stuff. The Kickstarter for Faye Courts is alive for 13 more days.
Nice the link
number. There it is. Thank you, Pops. Please, guys, go check it out. If you like, so a lot of miniature games are grim, dark futures. This is a fantasy setting, but it's not like overly fantasy. It's you're monsters. It's a monster setting. Have fun being monsters. Like if you have miniatures on your table, like you have your D&D minis, and you have like look at them right now and think like, what group of them could I put together and just write up some kind of a crazy story that they would work together, and boom, you can throw them in this game. And that's the whole idea of this is like, be creative. Like take I'm just looking at I don't really have much around here, but like other than like the minis for the game, which is cheating because I already have the minis. But I mean, you could literally take pennies and make those your army. You know,
Wow.
you can use anything. The whole idea, the bases are supposed to be certain sizes to depict the certain sizes of the characters. But other than that, like you can use anything. If people want to check it out, please go check it out. If you decide it's not for you, maybe it's for somebody you know. So please
share it
share it.
around. Let's get this funded.
We're close to funded now, and of course, until it's actually funded, I am going to be stressing because that's how Kickstarters work, as you know. It is very stressful. I am in the middle right now, which is the quiet time, which is the itchy time. People are like, oh, don't worry, it'll be funded by the end. I'm like, until it's funded, I'm going to keep worrying.
Yeah,
I would have loved right at the beginning that initial boom to get me there. It didn't, and we're still fighting the fight. But please, everybody, check it out. Again, and you can find me on social media under Jay Mooers, on Instagram and Facebook especially. I have a Discord server for Faye as well, and I have an X account, but I'm never on it, so I wouldn't bother. In fact, I don't know if I can even log into it anymore. I don't think I've been on it since it was Twitter. But
oh wow, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm not a social media maniac, which is probably why my Kickstarter isn't fully funded yet. But please check it out. Check out. I can even punch in the website for Faye. But you can also buy the Faye RPG through the Kickstarter for Faye Courts if you're interested in that as well. It's an add-on. But let me type in the. I can't add to the comments, but I can add to the private chat.
And I can add it.
And the link that he's gonna share with you guys is the my publishing house. So I got my novels on there, Autumn Gray's on there, my Faye is on there, and Faye Courts will be on there after the Kickstarter.
Me and Pop shared it.
Thank you guys.
So this is his website, which you guys can check out as well.
Yeah. And Autumn Gray and Faye are both available as add-ons on the Kickstarter for Faye Court. So if you're interested in the whole enchilada, there is a bundle which is like the big box of everything, basically. Like, you want all the Faye Court stuff, you want the Faye stuff and the Autumn Gray. Okay, here you go.
Oh yeah.
I should have called it the whole enchilada, but.
Well, yeah, it sounds delicious.
It does. It's almost dinner time, so I'm getting hungry.
And I'm Kevin Davis. You can find me on Instagram at I am Kevin Davis Official and Facebook at I am Kevin Davis CEO, and also Kevirsyle Network here at the Madness Entertainment Group. And this has been a new episode with Jay Mooers. Great to have you on here. Thank you for coming on. And this will get funded. I believe it will. This is so beautiful, and I wish you luck on your endeavors, man.
Thank you so much. And on yours as well. I can't wait to check out your comic.
Thank you, man. And we will see you guys next time on Kevirsyle Network.
If you missed the live viewing of any Madness Entertainment Group production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. We'll see you next time on the Madness Entertainment Group.